Hey, how are you guys? How you doing? Sorry about the delay. How are you? I want to read you on the chat. Hello, Gabi, Joe, Diana, Sven, Luke. How are you doing? Hey, Gabo, Rael, Tom, and Deuce. Hey, Chris. Hola, Alex, Diane, Larry, Andy. Hey, Jose Luis. Nice to have you here. Complicated day for me. Yeah, ugly price action on here, right? Ugly price action on here. Yeah, I know. So, well, let's go to take a look to everything. Sorry guys, today I wasn't too prepared to tell you about good place. But let's take a look together, all right? Give me 1 second here. Fixing my screen here. All right. Okay, so Apple. Well, today, first of all, right? First of all, look at this. This is ugly, nasty price action on both indices. They were just ranging here. Yeah, this is just ugly, guys. This is just ugly. I know it's very complicated to trade on this kind of price action, but however, let's see if we have a few opportunities here. So, for example, Apple. What we had different things with Apple, and well, just confirming, you guys can see my screen and listen to me, right? Yes. All right. Okay. Thank you. Hey, Ajub John from Uzbekistan, dude, you are literally in the other side of the world. Thank you for joining, my friend. Thank you for joining. Uh, Ale, well, Ale is she's also on the other side of the world. She's in Brazil, so it's completely on the opposite side than me. And okay, yeah, is it Chris? Is it just me, or have there been almost no setups the last couple of weeks? No, no, it's not you. It has been a complicated market. You will see. Hello, Alan Chen. And Naman, did you take a trade today? I did. I took a small loss. I'm gonna show you in a minute. So, okay, so I just want to show you this. So first we have this 5 minute opening range. It was 946. So this is actually our 15-minute opening range, right? This thing here. So the only one or two opportunities is when we go out of this range. All right. So it's 593.60 and pre-market low. So everything inside this price action is just ugly, nasty ranging. All right, it's look at this. Now look at this. It's ugly. It's ugly. So all right. So I just wanted you to see this. Exactly the same thing in QQQ. So okay. So now we understand what happened today. Let's try to look for different opportunities on the names. All right. So Apple, we have these 20716. I want to show you this 20716. This is Apple. Yes. So this 20716 has been a strong key level on the daily chart for some months now. So we have several touches here, 20716, several touches here. So once we are on this area, what was expected, guys? Yes, revisiting here, right? So we use this as support, then resistance, then turn support again. And I know this looks like nothing on the indices, but actually it was kind of the SPY trying to reclaim this pre-market low, trying to defend this area here. So this thing, this Apple thing, I don't like Apple. I don't trust Apple. But well, many of you guys trade Apple. So here we have this break and retest of this 20716. All right. So 20716 again, several touches from June last year, and I think that's it. Yeah, June last year, several touches here. July, August, it was this gap on March, several touches here, support, I mean, resistance, then turn support, then resistance, then support, and now another time resistance. So we had this break and retest of this key level here, this key level here. Can you see? So let's assume that you saw this 20716, and what was happening on the indices? Well, it was happening nothing, guys. It was happening nothing. Right here, we are defending this pre-market low. It was almost this zone here, this 518.53 on 518.50 on the that's a key level on the 15-minute chart for QQQ. So it was kind of defending these levels here, but this thing was having like relative strength, right? So even when the indices were at the bottom of the opening range, well, what happened to Apple? Apple actually almost hit high of the day. So this break and retest of this key level here, it was one nice opportunity here, and this second chance here, this is the opening price, guys. So 207.68, yeah, 207.68 was the opening price today. So this is another, like, let's say, break and retest of this opening price here. And what was happening on the indices? Well, kind of the same thing, right? So they were kind of holding here like this, yeah, like here, this red candle here, long wick to the downside, but defending this point here. And what was happening here? Well, kind of the same thing, right? Defending this 518 on the QQQ. So those are the only two opportunities that I see on Apple. Again, I don't trade Apple, and this is against, well, it's not against, it's out of my playbook because I like to trade on the same direction than the indices. But this is just chop, right? This is just chop. So there's no trend, there's no direction here on the indices. So I will say that, like, if you waited, that will be awesome. But let me know if you take an Apple trade. Let me go to the chat. Hello, Anne from New York. I love New York. Mr. Hans, so when you draw the daily levels, do you tend to make sure that they fit on the right or the left side? What do you mean? What do you mean, Hans? On the when you draw the daily levels, do you tend to make sure that they fit on the right or the left side? I don't understand your question. Chen, for the second opportunity, will you consider the entry to be near high of the day? Yeah, well, this was pretty much close to high of the day. So if you were just aim, but look at this. I mean, even with this, if you were aim, oh well, no, this is high of the day. This is the 5-minute opening range. So this is the high of the day. So this is a 1 to 2.6 risk reward ratio trade. I know I don't love it either. But just, can you see that we actually have a few opportunities here? I know it's not in our playbook because what was happening with the indices. Well, look at this right here. Now, well, it's inside of the range. Nothing happening here. This is inside of the range. Can you see here? It's this circle here inside of the range, doing nothing. But if you are not looking the indices as a context, and you were just looking intraday price action, well, this is the opening price, and you have a clean and nice break, then a nice retest here. And well, probably if you were not looking at the indices here, maybe you did something like this. Maybe you did something like this on this candle here. After this retest, it was nice price action here, buyers stepping in. And look at these candles here. Nice wick to the downside, and then the reaction on the indices. So again, I don't like too much of it, but after a few touches here, maybe I don't know, like if you wanted to take a trade here and you have your stop loss like right here, aiming to this high of the day, it was still a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade. Um, okay, Tony said that we are in a bad market cycle, and the market should go back to normal in 1 2 weeks. Uh, what do you think about this, Neto? I mean, that's only best wishes. You should not be expecting anything from the market. I mean, yes, it's not in a good spot. You can see this chop all the day on SPY. But also, let me show you what happened yesterday on SPY, right? Like, I mean, it's not all, like bad news. If you go to the 15-minute chart, what did we have yesterday? Nice push, nice push. I mean, this volatility, it's great for us. This volatility is great for us. The thing is, when we have days like this, right? This is not good for anyone. This is not good for anyone, because even from the pre-market, it's this is not good for anyone. However, it's positive that we are holding these 593.50 and these 591.60. If we stay above these key levels here, I really see a lot of potential for revisiting this 600, like really soon, like probably this week. So, what's my opinion on this? Well, it yes, I agree. It's not a good market right now, but I mean, if it's going to be back to normal in 1 2 weeks, I mean, that's all. That's only best wishes, right? I mean, you can you can you cannot know for sure. Um, Alan, the net inflows to the markets are showing an outflow of institutional funds. Is this an indication of lack of movement in general? I don't know. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know. I mean, yes, there's data that is saying that there's a lot of inflow from the retail traders, and the institutional traders are actually getting a lot of FOMO on this on these movements. So I was reading 1 or 2 days ago that there was a record inflow of retail traders funds to the market on the previous dip, like the 1 or 2 weeks ago. So that's actually, I love these kind of stories, because I hate when institutional traders say like, okay, well, smart money, dumb money. If you have seen this movie of the what is the name of this kitty guy? AMC? No, AMC no. Come on, guys, help me here. Um, yeah, GameStop. Yes, thank you, Matt. Yeah, if you have seen this movie of GameStop, it actually explains a lot of stuff, of good stuff about smart money, dumb money, and how, market manipulation, and how the big players actually can dump or move the price of an action. That's actually a very nice movie to watch, and you will start understanding a lot of stuff. So it's not about trading. It's not about trading, because I mean, you can't see this guy like taking a position or something. But you will see a lot of what happens around, like this investment thing. Um, Andy, several times I ignored my stop and just held and waited for the higher time frame bullish trend to eventually move price up. I know it's building a bad habit, but it seems working on this market. Well, if you are super sure about your bullish position, I mean, you better be choosing 1 or 2 weeks out, because not sure if this Friday is gonna do something. Just look at this market, right? Uh, yeah, guys, if you are swinging, I mean, if you are taking swing trades, uh, buy time. That's kind of, I mean, it's not a secret. Buy time, buy enough time. Go to the higher time frame chart and buy time. Don't buy next week or 2 weeks, unless it's a short. It's a, a short goal, or a very reachable goal, right? Okay, so let's go to the next one. This is AMD. This is the trade I took this morning. And let me show you what I was looking here. All right. So we drop in the market open. We entered into this daily gap. Uh, this is not, this is it. Okay. So this is the gap from May the 13th to, yeah, what is this, the tariff? Yeah, I don't remember, but I mean, this is whatever is left from this gap from May 13 to May 14. So we have been just going down to fill this gap, and today we finally closed this gap. And for being honest, I was thinking like we will be like retesting this 111 or this 109, but it didn't happen. So I was looking at this. This is not a retest. Look, this is not a retest of the 5 minute opening range. This is not. But this was a nice order block here. As you can see, like sellers were stepping in hardly. So we had this impulsive candle here. Then we have this second, even when this is a green candle, this is just, I mean, look at the size of this wick to the upside. So this, we created an order block here. So I was expecting for this retest to go lower, right? Like, okay, well, this is it actually broke this gap or whatever was left of this gap, and then we retested here, and then we had this strong reaction to this order block. So this was a strong reaction to this order block here, like here. So I took my position here, and I want to show you what was happening on the indices. So I actually have a circle right here. So we retested here the opening price on SPY and the on QQQ, and we were actually around this 5 minute opening range low, pre-market low. The same thing with the QQQ. So I was like, well, this looks super weak, super weak. And also indices are actually retesting the bottom of this range, and they were looking weak here. So for me, this was like, okay, well, we are having a lower high here, and this is just going to the downside. So I opened my position here. I was aiming to low of the day, and my risk was this 5 minute opening range low, and I didn't have any continuation here. So you can see here, I was drawing a few lines here, like, okay, well, this is a trend line on the indices, this is a trend line on the indices. We were having lower highs here, not lower lows yet, so lower highs here. So I was like, okay, well, if we can hold below this trend line, maybe AMD is gonna follow But this is the moment I was stopped here. So I was stopped here. I took this loss. This was like a 13 or 14 percent negative. On my loss here, I took like 40 contracts. It was, I think it was 112 puts for this Friday, and that was the reasoning on my trade. Well, I mean, I was actually thinking that it will work. Can you see here on the circles what was happening on the indices? It was dropping, it was going below the range. So here I was looking a lot of weakness, but it didn't work. It didn't follow through. So uh Alex, if a gap on the daily chart is filled in the morning, is that level valid for the rest of the day or not anymore? Well, I will see, Alex, if there's order blocks here. Can you see what happened today here? Everything is inside this gap on this order block. Everything, like 80% of the day is inside of this box. So it's not a rule, but usually, I mean, you can still use that gap as a key level, especially the borders of the gap, right? Um, you try the same, yeah, yeah. This was kind of obvious, right? Like, well, it's a shame. Chris, I feel like AMD makes that wedge symmetrical triangle pattern basically every day. Sometimes. Hi Neto, could you give me your comments about to NVIDIA? Well, let me go to NVIDIA in a minute, okay? I took AMD put 1019. Yeah, like here, this retest of the 5 minute opening range. What was happening on the indices? Yeah, they were kind of rejecting the bottom of the ranges. Yeah, can you see here this trend line here? 1019, you said, right? 1019, yeah, like rejecting this opening price. 1019, yeah, rejecting this 5 minute opening range. In my opinion, that was a good entry. That was a good entry. I will take it like 9 out of 10 times. uh Alex Trevino, entry retest 1007. That's the same thing that the uh, Chen. I enter AMD as well, a bit lower, 957, 957, 957. Yeah, like here. Yeah, and what was happening with the indices? They were going down. I mean, all these that you said, they were good entries. It just, I mean, it didn't have any continuation. Uh, no, man, I feel like sometimes it's okay to blame the markets. No, no, it's not okay. I mean, take full responsibility, no, man. Rael did not like that the indices pretty much stay in this. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, this range is ugly. Diane, you're welcome. Chen, you're welcome. I feel better that we are looking at the same thing. Well, dude, feel better when we won, when we both won, not today. Nah, just kidding. Something I'm very proud of today is that I take my losses inside of my system. So I measure my risk here and I was aiming for my profit here. And the moment my trade was invalidated here, I just cut my trade and I had a 13 or 14 negative trade. That's peanuts for my wins. I mean, you know, guys, I mean, when I have a win, it's usually 40, 50, 60%. Fridays are like 100%. So taking a loss of 15% negative or 14% negative, that's very much inside of my system. So I'm proud of my execution today, and that's a win on my books. So I'm very glad that I mean, if you took your losses where you plan and where you were supposed to take them, I'm proud of you guys. I mean, even if the outcome is not, it was a loss, if you follow your plan, if you executed your trade that you were planning, that's a win on my books, right? Naman, is summer a choppy season? I mean, every summer is different, my friend. Uh, in my opinion, July it's a bit slow. Like like probably like investors take vacations on July, so it's a bit slow with less volume than the rest of the months. But for example, last year one of my best months was July and August. August has been my best month ever. Like last August was my best month ever. I had a day with a $40,000 win. I mean, it was a swing trade, uh, but that was my best month ever. So summers are slow. I mean, not all the time. We still have volatility. So I mean, you can still plan to trade on the summer. Okay. Chen, you exited 1037, the exact same candle. That's pretty nice, my friend. Right, Amazon. Amazon. I wish I would take this one instead of AMD. But okay, so Amazon, what was happening here? So we had this break of the 5 minute opening range. We had this try or this attempt or going down on here. We created this order block with this wick here. We changed the direction of the price, so that's why I know this is a nice order block here. We came back, we broke this order block. This is the new low of the day. So this was low of the day, this is the new low of the day. Then we came back here, retest, and drop. Okay, what was happening at the same time on the indices? Well, both indices, look at this, both indices, they were rejecting the trend line. Can you see here, guys? So if you are looking for context here, this is nice. Amazon was below of the range, the opening range, below the opening range. It created a new low of the day, came back, retested the previous low of the day. What was happening on the indices? Rejecting the trend line here. So this was a nice entry here. So if you open your position here right after this rejection candle here, and you open your position here 204, 27, 28, 1025, time 25, 1025, you were aiming to this 20, what is this? Well, if you were aiming to here, this 203, well, let's say 20380, yeah, 20380, this was a 1 to 2.14 risk reward ratio trade. But let me tell you something. Here, I'm using the top of this wick as the risk. But what happens if I just say like, okay, well, after this impulsive candle here, let's take the top of this candle here. So if you take the top of this candle here and you were aiming to the low of the day, this was a 1 to 2.4 risk reward ratio trade. So no, I mean, again, this is depending on how you set your stop loss or your risk. But here, after this nice rejection move of this previous low of the day order block here, and the indices rejecting the trend line, I mean, it's valid to have your risk right at the top of this candle instead of at the top of the other ones. So with this impulsive move, you had one chance, two chance, three, four, five, like several chances to trim your position here at the previous low of the day. So this should be a super nice trade. And also you had this second opportunity here. So, okay. And I want to explain this second opportunity here. It's actually very nice. Why? Because it's both indices coming back to the range. They tried to escape, they tried to break to the upside, but what happened here? What happened here? They went inside of the range. So I'm assuming that you had this rejection of this order block, previous low of the day, and even if you waited like two candles, let's say you waited to here, right? You waited to here, and you had your risk at the top of these candles here, and you were aiming to the previous low of the day. This was a 1 to 3.5 risk reward ratio trade, and probably you took it more than that, right? Anyone took an Amazon trade today? Ajub, Ajub John, how many percentage did you get there on the Amazon trade? I didn't take these ones, my friend. It's just, I mean, I'm just spotting a good entries for you, trying to give you context on the indices. Ale, I took the first trade on Amazon, 1024. Nice one, 1024. There was also a nice pre-market low entry at 1120. 1120. Yeah, like here. Yes, well, yes, I mean, yes, and this was rejection of the of the top of the range on the indices, right? Again, out of our playbook, but yes, this is a nice entry also. Uh, just 11:20. It's out of my trading hours, but yes, I mean this is a very nice break and retest of this pre-market low, showing weakness here. Let's try to do it here. Showing weakness here. You had your risk at the top of this week, and maybe you were aiming 203.50. Well, 203.50 was a 1 to 4 risk reward ratio trade. So this is a nice trade here. This is a nice trade here. So yeah, did you take this, Ale? Now you took the first one, but okay, but you spotted this one. All right. Okay. Rael, will this be considered an A plus setup? If this is just no. So in my playbook, and I sorry, Rael, I'm pushing a lot this thing like in my playbook, because I'm sorry. You need to work on creating your own playbook. So in my playbook, in my ideal scenario, my A plus setups, it's indices trending or with a clear direction, the name or the ticker moving on the same direction with relative strength or relative weakness, and also with similar key levels. So for example here, right, like, okay, so I was waiting, for example here, yeah, I was waiting Amazon to break this low of the day and come here to retest. And what was happening on the indices? Okay, well, I was waiting to actually break this opening price and pull back to retest this key level here, or for example here on QQQ. I was expecting after this break to the downside to come back, retest these key levels, and come back again. So I was looking at this and I say, well, Amazon, okay, well, it has a first target here, and then a second target here, 203.50, and then a second target here at 203. So I'm looking for like similar targets on the indices and the names. So that's my playbook. That's an A plus setup. So today, with the indices doing absolutely nothing, I didn't have any A plus setup other than the one that I took on AMD. Why? Because this thing was actually breaking to the downside, retesting this and going back. Again, this went back to the range. but I mean, when I took my position here, it was an A plus setup. Uh, is that kind of clear, Rael? I mean, did I explain myself well with what an A plus setup mean for me? Makes sense. I was also looking at the indices for same trade setup, but took no trades today. Okay, so we are on the same page. Remember, guys, everyone needs to have their own playbook. If you don't want to follow the indices because it's too much of a context and you only are looking at the intraday price action, you need to modify your playbook to reflect your entry criteria, your risk tolerance, your style, your everything. If you are taking everything in consideration, just like me, adjust your playbook to reflect all of your entry criteria. If you are also looking at the higher time frame levels or whatever, modify your playbook to reflect that into your entry criteria. So what is the most important here is that your playbook reflect everything that you take in consideration. Hey Neto, I'm looking at other confluences. I'm looking at some pattern. I'm looking to something else. You backtest, and if it actually works, you add to your playbook. Okay. Ale, Neto, in the first trade I closed at the huge week. Which one? Here, 1025. With pretty small risk reward, is it good or better way for a closed candle? Well, because the price action on the indices, I will take anything quicker because it's just ranging and messing with us. Okay, so let's go to the next one, Nvidia. This was another amazing trade that I missed. I'm not getting any FOMO or something, but I just want to recognize that I'm trying to stay away of Nvidia because I have shares. I have shares. I have some stock of Nvidia, so it's like I don't want to go into Nvidia options because it's messing my mind with whatever I have on my long-term portfolio. I know this is something I need to work, but that's why I've been avoiding Nvidia trades the last past weeks. Uh, but here we have this break and retest of this pre-market low. Where is this pre-market low? Here, this pre-market low, and after this, look, after this 939 candle here, this was kind of indecisive candle. The next candle, it's actually going below this pre-market low, 5-minute opening range low. And what was happening on the indices? They were rejecting the high of the day or the top of the range. So again, I know this is a lot of context to have in consideration, but if you took a trade like here and you have your risk at the top of these candles here and you were aiming to 133.50, you got a 1 to 2.5 risk reward ratio trade. And guess what? Look at the price action here. So probably even if you wanted here, you couldn't sell. So you went all the way here, and this was a 1 to 4 something risk reward ratio trade. Okay, so and maybe if you trim enough here, you were able to hold your position here, take to this new low, because yeah, can you see here? And this is something for you for your trade management. After these impulsive candles here, 952 on the indices, they went all the way up to the top of the range. But what was happening here on Nvidia? These candles, they didn't even go to the bottom of the range. So this is relative weakness, guys. This is relative weakness. So look at the huge move on the indices and what happened on Nvidia. Yeah, it moved, but it stayed heavy. It stayed below the range. It stayed below your key levels. So this is relative weakness. So if you manage to stay on this trade, you actually had this push up to the downside here. So this could be like an amazing trade, more than 1 to 5 risk reward ratio trade. Anyone took Nvidia today? Let me go to the chat. Kirby, I'm new to your sessions. Welcome. Where are you watching, Kirby? Where are you from? Do you publish your playbook? I don't publish my playbook because I'm gonna be completely transparent. I don't have like a document of my playbook, but I try to remember, guys, my playbook every day. So again, it's looking at the indices for clear trend or direction, then going watch for the names that are moving on the same direction. The trend is your friend. Trade with the trend. Then looking for the ones with relative strength or relative weakness, and then looking for the ones with similar key levels. Just as we explained here, like, okay, well, if the index is breaking this key level here and it's to come back for this, okay, what is going on this name? Okay, well, it needs to come back for this one. Okay, so trend or direction from the indices, tech name moving on the same direction, looking for relative weakness or relative strength, and then looking for the one with similar key levels. Okay, that's the playbook. You can come here again to watch the recording, take notes, but don't bother. I mean, we talk about the playbook every day. Andy, I entered Nvidia long 1237. Okay, 1237 here. 1237. 1237. I like it. I like it. It's we already broke the momentum of this morning. We have a change of character here. You have clear market structure to the upside. Indices are not helping, as you can see. You took 1237 here. It's a break and retest of this 1 minute opening range low. In my playbook, we don't use the bottom of the ranges to the upside or the top of the ranges to the downside. Those are kind of reversals or rejections or bounces. We don't trade it with my playbook, but I can understand what you did here. It's not working now. Probably you closed your trade like here. You should be aiming to high of the day here, and your risk was maybe the bottom of this one here. Well, this is not even 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade, my friend. So probably, I mean, you needed like uh, a, a new high for the day. Yeah. So probably you got stopped like here, right? Or are you still on this trade? Strong candle 1236, close above order block from 1157. My target is the 5 minute high. That's actually high of the day. I got stopped 121. Here, well, that was a hell of a stop loss. That's too much. That's too much because if your target was here, high of the day, look at this. This is a 1 to 1.2 risk reward ratio trade. It's not worth the risk, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of people that takes 1 to 1 risk reward ratio trades. That's okay. For me, I like at least 1 to 2. Okay. Are there any chances to trade with you? My friend, I'm in Texas. So if you are in Texas and you can come to my office, you are very welcome. But I don't trade live, if that's the question. I don't do a live trading session. But if you are in our Discord, We usually share our trade ideas or our trade thesis, and of course all the trade reviews on the Discord. So that's another way to keep learning from this strategy and from us. Um, okay, Diane, all the time I am not sure about the trend. Despite I'm sure for the direction of the trend, I'm scared that it will revert. I mean, yes, that's why you need to go look for the, like the higher time frame. If you are close to a support or resistance area, well, I mean, you need to be aware of it and look for the reaction there. Can be perfect. Georgia, yeah, GA is Georgia, like Atlanta, Georgia. This time works better for me. Nice. Mr. Hans is not trading the first 10 minutes, not in your playbook. Yeah. 10-15 minutes into the market. I like market to settle down a little bit and choose a trend or direction. Gabi, hi Neto, could you give me your comments? I bought Nvidia calls 941, 941, 941 here. Nvidia calls? Why Nvidia calls? Applying the 84% rule for the breakout of the 5-minute opening range. Gabi. 948. 948. Nvidia? Nvidia calls 941. I'm sorry. I'm not sure what you did here, Gabi. 941, 948. Yeah. I'm not sure why you were trying calls here. I mean, here it's, like the bottom of the range. It's below pre-market low, below the 1-minute opening range, around the 5-minute opening range low. Not sure what you tried to do here. And look at the pre-market. I mean, it's just dropping all the pre-market. So I'm not very sure what you tried to do here. But well, and also 948. That's a huge risk, Gabi. Any thoughts on QQQ relative strength, relative on SPY? I'm not sure what's going on now. It's not doing anything. It's still inside of the range. They both are still inside of this opening range. I mean, QQQ was looking a little stronger than SPY, but not that much. Andy, I got in a low price at the bottom of the. Okay, Eileen, I finally made it to the live trade with you. Yeah, Eileen, drop the word. Nah, just kidding. Welcome here. Hello, enter of Tesla short rejection. Give me 1 second. I'll go to Tesla. So you mentioned in Discord, mastering risk management from Jack was the game changer. Could you share more on that? What's the next thing that helped apart from that? Well, it's sticking to your rules. I mean, when you have a system, when you have a playbook, you play it like every time. If you start taking trades outside of your playbook, that's when the issues start. But if you take a trade inside of your playbook, your risk should be very clear or very easy to measure, and your targets will be the same thing, right? So if you stick to your playbook, it's gonna be super easy to keep consistent with your risk reward for the trades you take. And also, I mean, just remember, I mean, the break and retest works very nicely. So you just need to be like aware of the key levels and the context or whatever you want to include in your playbook. But my recommendation is work in your playbook, trade whatever works for you, because I mean, whatever works for you is gonna show you also the downside of the trades you take. So if you can set a stop loss as easy as you can set your take profit levels, that's a very clear playbook, and that's the best way to play this. All right. Gabi, you take puts. Yeah, Gabi, come on. You scare me. Yeah, no call syndication here. All right. Okay. Ajub John, are there any chances to trade with you? I mean, live? No, my friend. I mean, I don't live trade, at least in these days. Uh, Thank you, Neto. Do you have rough template on how a playbook should look like visually? Uh, I do. I do. And what I'm gonna do, this is a very recurrent question, kind of. So what I'm gonna do is, I promise I'm gonna record a new video explaining a few things about the strategy, about trade management, about routines and preparation, and this will include the playbook. So please be patient. I swear that I'm working on a content schedule, and I will start dropping some wisdom nuggets here on the YouTube channel for all of you guys. I know most of you belong to the same trading community that I am coach into it, but sometimes the way I look at things, it's, I mean, it's like at school, right? I mean, you can have uh, different teachers for the same assignment, and you just understand different to one or other. So I will try my best to explain you things like in a more relaxed way. So let's see if that works. But I will share with you guys. uh, okay, Eileen, I tried to trade without listening to the live today. I was working on the 9 EMA play. I don't know what that kind of play is, but I mean, I figured I had everything ready, but was too eager to take a trade, so I ended up writing the consolidation trade. Yeah, sorry. Yeah, trade with conviction, Eileen. I mean, if your setup shows, the one thing that you need to do, it's actually take your trades. You were yesterday on the Traders Lab session. I talked about that yesterday. Okay, so that was Nvidia for me. I didn't see any other clear things here. Uh, let's go to Tesla. Some of you guys are asking about Tesla here. What you did here, guys? Okay, drawing key levels. Yes, of course. That's actually the one that is almost ready. Okay. Um, kind of. Enter Tesla short rejection from last Thursday high. What is last Thursday high? Last Thursday high here, 346, 346 rejection. So this is 346.12. 346.12 here. So this is the rejection of Thursday high. Yes, Thursday, May the 15th, 346.12. Okay. So, all right. So you took like this one here, something like this. Maybe you risk at the top of these wicks, looking for low of the day here, something like this. 950, Yeah, 950, 950. Well, I mean, I understand why you took this one here, but can you see this is in media retest? There's no displacement, but you have this displacement here, then this retest here, one, two, three. If you take something like this here, and you said previous high of the day here, something like this. Yeah, it was a 122 something risk reward rate to trade, probably. Yeah, no continuation to the downside. Indices doing absolutely nothing. I know. Tesla. Okay, well let me go look at this. Would you make a bit? Was listening to the live session with Jack and Tony today, and they took a long 939, 939, 939, 939. Why? 939 here, here. Well, this is immediate retest of the 5 minute opening range. I know they were super bullish about Tesla trade, but I mean, can you see that it's not working on the indices? And this is immediate retest. Well, if it stayed above this 351, that's what they were trying here. I mean, they were trying this kind of retest here. Well, it's not actually a retest, but it's everything above this 351.62. Oh, 351.62. It's last Friday's high or last previous week high here. They tried this, right? Like, okay, like a retest here and going to the upside. But this zone has been extremely used. Can you see? One reject, two rejects, three rejects, four rejects, five rejects, seven rejects, and this is just the 4 hour. This is just the 4 hour chart. But can you see what they try to do here, guys? So they are trying to anticipate this move to the upside. What's happening here? Well, because they were trying to anticipate and there was a rejection here, they took a loss. They took a loss here, but that's what they tried to do. It's a basing below this 350 something key level here. It's basing here. So the moment it breaks these key levels, it's gonna fly at least to this 367. So if you are looking guys for swings opportunities, I think if we break these 355, 354, I will take 370 calls for maybe 2 or 3 weeks, 2 weeks out from today. That will be a nice play. That's what they tried to do here, but it didn't work. It didn't work. Okay. I took one Tesla reversal, pre-market break and retest. On previous day high. Matt, I took a Tesla reversal on pre-market break and retest. This is the pre-market. Here. Oh, previous day high. Reversal pre-market break and retest. So maybe here. Oh, okay. No. I get. Okay. So you were doing exactly this play, right? Like this break and retest of this. Uh, well, there's no pre-market around here. Yeah, there's no touches to the pre-market levels here, or I don't see where did you calls 959, calls 959. So this is like the break and retest of this previous day high, and then looking for the move to the upside. Well, that's a nice one. Um, okay, 959 of previous day high calls. Okay, okay, I like it. I really like it. What was happening on the indices? Absolutely nothing inside of the range. Okay. Yeah, well, this is a kind of trade out of the higher time frames, right? Out of the higher time frames. Okay. Okay, look, I got ahead. Okay. See you tomorrow, Luke. See you, Gabby. Oh, it's already 2 p.m. Okay. Is there a gap at 353? Uh, there a gap 353. I don't see the gap. Not even from today. Yeah. So here we have two different plays here, right? So we have this break and retest of this 346.12. That's we said it was this what was this? Last Thursday high. Last Thursday high. So we had this break and retest. So if you had this to the downside, well, it it may work, but I like I like more the Matt's play. I mean, it's going to the upside. Yes, it was a strong move to the upside and then to the downside, but it's actually holding the previous day high. So it was expected to move to the upside here. So I like this play 959. Uh, I'm not gonna lie, I wouldn't take it on here because I'm watching all these move to the downside, and also the indices are actually moving to the downside. But I understand your play. Maybe if it was a swing, I will take it, but not for an intraday play. Um, okay, and that's well, it's not the only thing, but here, can you see here, guys? I mean, there's no correlation on the indices. Indices were doing absolutely nothing, but we had this break and retest of the opening price. This is the opening price here. This is the opening price here. So let's assume that you take a trade here. Your risk is at the 5 minute opening range low, that it's the bottom of this. Well, it's actually a retest of the 5 minute opening range and also the opening price here. So if you have your risk to the 5 minute opening range and you were aiming to this local high, or even the 1 minute opening range here, or this zone about this zone that we discussed here, it was a 1 to 2 point something risk reward ratio trade, and it's actually moving to the upside more and more. So these are a second chance here, or a third chance if you took this bounce out of the previous day high. I mean, if you took this move to the upside, that was kind of the second chance here. And this break and retest of the 5 minute opening range, or the opening price here, this is another good chance here. And from there, I don't see anything else. There's no other Tesla trades that you took today, guys. Um, Kenneth, 2 a.m. my song. Good night, my friend. Ajub John. See where I can find the option calculation. For example, how I can know how much percentage I can earn or lose. Well, it's it's a very hard to get calculation. That's where the experience comes. If you are trading Tesla, you need to know. I mean, if it moves $1 on your way or against you, I mean, how much of the contracts it's moving. That's not easy to calculate on the fly. So that's one of the reasons that you need to be very familiar with the names you are trading. So for example, Tesla is one of the names with a lot of volatility, so you need to be like more open to risk tolerance here, because $1 can move like 30% to the upside or to the downside. So you need to be more attentive to your entries and exits here. All right. So the bottom line, it's not an easy calculation. There's no calculator here or something that you can do on the fly. Uh, Matt, thinking about holding one con. Well, look at this. It's ripping. It's ripping. What strike you have, Matt? 350s, right? 345. If you bought here, maybe you were, yeah, you were trying 345, 340, 350. Yeah, that's nice. Yeah, I mean, makes sense to hold one. It's still Tuesday. Let's see what you can do here. Look, I mean, it's looking really well on the 4 hour. It's looking really well on the 4 hours. So probably you're gonna break this and have a retest of this 355. Yeah, so I will aim to this 355, but I mean, you can always sell next day. How much is this move on percentage? You are you are up like 3 digits already. Are you gonna share, Matt, how much you are up on these open contracts? 60%. That's very nice. That's very nice. Yeah, well, depends on you. I mean, not sure how many contracts you got on this way, but if it's only one contract, I will hold it. I will hold it. All right. So next one, it's Microsoft. Uh, Microsoft faked me yesterday badly. So here we had several chances for doing some stuff here. For example, we had this break and retest of this opening price here. This is the opening price here. What were the indices doing? Well, they were rejecting the top of the range. So let's assume that you took a position here and your risk was at the top of these wicks and you were aiming to low of the day. This was a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade. So just, can you see here, guys? This is a question for you all regarding trade management. Can you see here that key levels have been working nicely for the price action? So once we swipe this pre-market low, let me go. This is Microsoft. Let me go to the 15-minute chart. Right? Can you see here why this key level was here? Why this key level was here? So maybe if we move it like to the top of these wicks like this, look at this. It swiped all the liquidity we were looking at. So once we change of character here, probably you close your trade, or you want to close your trade, right? Because now we are having higher highs. So here is your change of character. So you don't want to be like all the way up here to close your trade. If you were aiming to a 1 to 2 risk reward ratio trade and indices are doing absolutely nothing like this thing, and you are only leaning on the intraday price action, you need to be very careful of these kind of things. So here we had a change of character here. So maybe you wanted to cut here your trade instead of like going all the way up here. Uh, what was another thing that happened here? Okay, well, it actually broke this opening price, came back, retested here the opening price and the 5 minute opening range. And if you are taking trades like here, maybe you had your risk at the bottom of this thing and you were aiming to high of the day. So high of the day was a 1 to 2.7 risk reward ratio trade, but look how long it took. All right, it took from 11 to 12:39, so almost 2 hours to hit your objectives here. If you were aiming to here, let's say, uh, yeah, like 450, 650, that was a 1 to 1.6. Well, if you trim there, maybe you were like kind of easy and relaxed, and you were willing to hold all the way to here. But I mean, I don't stay on trades like this, especially if the indices are having like trash price action like today. Uh, Tesla reclaiming high now. Yes, that's very nice. Right. So Meta, well, not no one. Anyone trade Meta here? Ajib John, so will you answer me in Discord if I give you a few questions about option trading? Yeah, if it's about option trading, don't send me DMs. Ask in the questions channel. I will reply there. Unless it's something like very personal, like you don't know how to size your trades, or you don't know what to do with your account, something like that. I mean, if it's very personal, just send me a DM. But if it's like a technical question and someone else can take advantage of the question and the answers, please ask on the public channels. Um, Ale, if you look at an entry of bottom of daily gap to the upside and vice versa, isn't the same thing as entering a long off bottom of? Yes, it is. It is. Yeah, like the rejection of the top of the daily gap to the downside. Yes, it is. Or the bounce of this bottom here. Yes, it is. Okay, so Palantir here, guys. We have this break and retest of the 5 minute opening range here. And what the indices were doing here. All right, so if you were aiming to 125.50, it was a 1 to 2.3 risk reward ratio trade. If you were aiming to this 124.62, why is this 124.62 important here? Well, let me go to the daily. Okay, this is multiple touches key level on the daily chart, right? Here it's clearer. All right, 124.62. If you were aiming to that key level, you almost got it. And if you did, it was a 1 to 4.5 risk reward ratio trade. If you didn't take this entry here and you took this order block here, or your pre-market low, no, it's more like this order block here, right? Well, this was a nice second opportunity. It didn't went all the way down to here. Well, this is actually a super high risk, right? Yeah, it's not even. Yeah, no, it didn't work. Okay, so and again, I mean, today's price action was completely ugly, guys. So don't be mad at you if your trades are not working like they used to be. If your trades are not having continuation that they usually have. I mean, the market has been awful. Market has been awful now. So I mean, it's not you. I mean, someone said at the very beginning of this call, let's blame the market. Yeah, I mean, just remember you need to be flexible and adapt to whatever the market is doing now. So just take that in consideration. I mean, if market is actually not following to or trending, just make sure that you are more aggressive taking profits, or that you are not actually expecting for the whole trip to the key level. So just I mean, this is the time where you are flexible and adapt. And being flexible doesn't mean break your rules. It means adapt to whatever the market is doing inside of your system. All right. Okay, guys. So that's all for me. Thank you for joining on this new schedule. Sorry if you joined very early to the session. I took a few minutes because I was ending a phone call. But I will see you tomorrow, guys. Thank you very much. Bye.